Dahil nga meron na namang bagong update ang CS Form 212, mag-share ko sa iyo ng updated version ng CS Form 212 Revised 2025. Hindi na po siya yung lumang 2017 na fill outan natin a few months ago. Kaya sa video na to, i-share ko sa iyo kung ano nga ba ang mga nagbago, meron bang nadagdag, useful pa rin ba yung dating PDS 2017 na version. Kung ikaw ay kasalukuyang nag-a-apply sa gobyerno, make sure to watch this video until the end dahil i-guide kita step by step sa kung paano ang tamang pag-fill out ng personal data sheet. So, 4 na pages po iyan siya. So, make sure to stick around and follow along. So, yes, let's begin. Narito na nga po ang iyong ultimate guide sa pag-fill out ng tama sa CS Form 212 Revised 2025. Merong nagbago, isa doon ay ang karagdagang PhilSys ID number natin or yung ating national ID number. And also, hindi na ina-encourage na gamitin ang ating revised 2017 dahil meron nang new version. So, I suggest na ito na yung gamitin mo. Maglalagay ako ng link kung paano to i-download sa description box at sa comment section. And also, ipapakita ko sa'yo yung pag-fill out ng tama. And yeah, let's begin. As you can see, clean slate siya. Hindi ko siya nilagyan ng kahit anong details para same page talaga tayo, pares tayo ng nakikita. So, tingnan po natin itong upper left side. Nakalagay CS Form number 212 at nakalagay rin po sa baba ay Revised 2025. So, ito po ang sign na tama po yung na-download natin na personal data sheet. So, bago tayo mag-fill out, meron pong mga warning dito. At yung warning, kailangan nating sundin talaga. Otherwise, baka may mangyaring hindi maganda sa atin. So, sabi dito, any misinterpretation made in the personal data sheet and the work experience sheet shall cause the filing of administrative or criminal cases against the person concerned. So, make sure na bagay truthful po tayo sa mga ilalagay nating information both sa PDS at sa work experience sheet. At nakalagay din po dito, naka-bold letter pa siya, read the attached guide to filling out the personal data sheet before accomplishing the PDS form. Basahin po muna nating maigi yung direction para hindi po tayo magkamali. So sabi dito, print legibly if accomplished through own handwriting. Kung isusulat mo siya gamit ang kamay mo, sulat kamay, make sure na piprint mo siya ng nababasa po. And kapag hindi naman, then take appropriate boxes. So, i-check mo lang yung mga kailangang checkan, pipindutin mo lang. And also, you can use separate sheet if necessary. So, let's say masyadong mahaba yung work experience mo, then you can use a different sheet, for example. And then, you can indicate NA if not applicable. Kung wala ka ng bagay na yon, then put NA po. Okay? Malaking letter po ang N at ang A. At hindi po nasama dito sa info ang do not abbreviate. So, bawal po mag-shortcut. Let's say, kahit barangay pa yan, dapat you have to spell it out completely. Alright? So, yun po ang direction. Make sure to keep that in your mind. Alright, so let's start po sa first part, which is yung ating personal information. So, unang-una, ilalagay po natin ang ating surname or ang ating pong last name, yung apelyido po natin. I highly recommend na capital letter yung gamitin mo dito, capital letters. And then yung first name mo, given name mo, and also your middle name. Okay, hindi middle initial, kundi middle name. And isusulat mo din po yung iyong name extension kung meron ka nito, like kung junior ka man or senior. Okay? Next naman dito sa date of birth, ang format po na ating date of birth ay day, month, and year. Dapat po mauuna ang araw kung kailan tayo sinilang kesa sa buwan kung kailan tayo sinilang. Minsan kasi nagkakamali tayo doon na pagbabaliktad natin. So, ganun po dapat yung format. So, let's say sa birthday ko, let's say October 14, 1996. So, 14 muna ilalagay ko. Then October, tas 1996. Sa place of birth naman, ilalagay mo lang yung, let's say ako pinanganak ako sa San Jacinto, Masbate. So, San Jacinto, Masbate, yung ilalagay ko dyan, hindi na kailangan yung full address kasi nga, medyo kulang siya sa space. Sa sex at birth naman, sex at birth, ibig sabihin kung ano yung gender mo nung pinanganak ka. Meron kasi ngayon mga bisexual, merong ibang sinasabi na transgender, ganyan. So, either male or female lang tayo nung tayo ay pinanganak. So, since female ako, then i-check ko yung female. Sa civil status naman, depende yan sa status mo. Let's say ako, single pa ako, so I can check single. Pero kung widowed na, married, or separated, just check it. Okay? Sa height naman, you have to convert your height in meters. So, let's say yung alam mong height mo ay feet, then quick Google search mo lang yan, convert mo yung feet mo na height, then 2 meters yan. So, weight naman, make sure na naka-kilograms yan siya. And syempre, yun yung latest mong weight. Sa blood type naman, you can include your blood type here. Syempre, hindi dapat pwedeng NA to kasi lahat naman tayo may blood type. Let's say, hindi mo alam kung anong blood type mo. Ako before yung nilagay ko O+, kasi yun yung universal blood type. Pero later on, na-found out ko na type B+ pala yung blood type ko. So, pwede kang magpa-blood test if you want, kaso may additional na bayad yun. I think nasa 100 pesos. Pero, if you want it, free, then mag-donate ka na lang ng blood kasi nalaman ko yung blood type ko nung nag-try akong mag-donate. Alright, so ilagay natin yung UMID ID number natin. Ito po yung SSS number natin. Also yung Pag-ibig ID number natin, PhilHealth ID number, at ito yung bago, which is yung PhilSys number or PSN. Other than that, ilalagay din po natin ang ating TIN number. So, nagbabayad po tayo ng tax, meron po tayo nun, and meron din tayong agency or employee number, ilalagay din po natin yan. Again, kung wala ka ng mga numbers ito, let's say first time mo palang magkaroon ng work, then put NA. Dito naman tayo sa citizenship. So, if holder of dual citizenship, please indicate the details. So, let's say, American citizen ka rin, then you can click dual citizen. Pero as for me, I'm a Filipino, so Filipino i-check ko dyan. Sa dual citizen naman, kung dual citizen ka, mamimili ka kung by birth or by naturalization. Let's say, pinanganak ka doon sa US at pumunta ka lang dito, or by naturalization, then you can also indicate your country. So, let's say US, then United States of America. Dito naman tayo sa residential address. Okay? Ilalagay natin yung full address natin and also yung permanent address natin. Minsan, yung residential address at permanent address natin ay magkaiba, pero there are cases na parehas lang yan siya. For example, ako, ang residential address ko ay dito sa Manila, pero yung permanent address ko ay sa probinsya namin. So, susundan lang po natin yung guide dito, which is yung house number, street, subdivision, pangalan ng barangay nyo, city, municipality, and province. So, you also, please don't forget to include your zip code. Kung hindi mo alam ang zip code mo, i-search mo lang yan sa Google and you will know for sure. Moving on naman tayo dito sa telephone number. Karamihan sa atin ay walang telephone number unless meron tayong opisina or meron tayong phone plan or internet plan na kasama yung telephone. So you can indicate NA kung wala. Kung meron, please put it. And then mobile number, lahat tayo meron ito. Lagay mo yan. And email address if applicable. So if you have an email address, which I believe lahat tayo meron, please indicate that as well. If you have questions dito sa part na to, please let me know sa comment section below. Alright, proceed na tayo sa second part, which is yung family background. So, nakalagay dito spouse's surname. So, ilalagay natin kung meron tayong asawa, ilalagay natin yung apelyido niya. Kung wala naman, please put NA dito. So, as for me, wala pa akong asawa, so ilalagay ko dito NA lang. Pero kung meron, lagay mo yung surname niya, yung first name niya, at middle name. And syempre, kung meron siyang name extension, like junior or senior, please indicate that as well. Kung wala naman, please put NA. Pala, maraming nagtatanong sa akin kung pwede daw ba nilang ilagay yung pangalan ng live-in partner nila. Kung hindi po kayo legally married, ibig sabihin hindi pa po ninyo yan asawa, so please put NA dahil wala pa po. Pero in case meron po kayong children sa inyo pong live-in partner, then pwede nyo pong ipangalan or ilagay yung mga pangalan ng children nyo po. Alright po, understood po. And, syempre, lagi mo lang yung occupation ng asawa mo, employer or business name. Ilalagay mo lang yung business address, yung address kung saan nag-work si husband, and also yung telephone number ng company ni husband. So, sa number 24, father's name or surname, sa apelyido ni papa mo, pangalan ng tatay mo, and middle name ni papa mo. Nakalagay dito other's name but it's father's name talaga. Name and extension, don't forget name extension if meron. Sa mother's maiden name naman, when you say maiden name, ibig sabihin, pangalan niya nung dalaga pa siya. So, apelyido ni mama nung dalaga pa, first name ni mama nung dalaga pa, for sure di na mababago yan ang middle name ni mama. So, dito naman sa name of children, ilalagay po natin lahat ng full name nila at ililista natin lahat. Okay? So, kung marami po kayong anak at hindi kasya, then ilalagay po natin siya sa separate na sheet. And also, yung date of birth po nila, ilalagay din po natin. At ang format po nito ay date of birth nila, month, and also ilagay po natin yung year. Alright, so nandito na tayo sa third part, which is yung educational background. So, as you can see, meron po tayong nakalagay dito na level and also elementary, secondary, meron nakalagay name of school, isusulat natin in full yung pangalan ng school natin. Again, reminder not to abbreviate. Basic education, degree or course, ilalagay natin dito kung anong klase yung education na nakuha natin sa school na to. And also, ilalagay po natin yung period of attendance. So, from what year ka nag-start and to what year ka natapos dyan sa school na yan. Ilalagay din po natin yung highest level or units earned if not graduated. Let's say, hindi ka graduate sa elementary na to, then ilalagay mo lang kung hanggang kailan ka. Put NA kung hindi applicable. Sulat mo kung anong year ka graduate and isusulat mo rin yung scholarship or academic honors na natanggap mo. Kung wala naman, make sure to put NA on it. Same process lang din po dito sa secondary. Pero let's say for example, ikaw ay naka-grade 9 lang sa school na to, tas lumipat ka na, you have to indicate both schools then. Usually, natatanggap ko rin yung tanong na yan. And, kung nagtapos ka talaga sa school na yan from first year to fourth year or grade 7 to grade 10, include that as well. So, kung meron kang vocational or trade course na kinuha, make sure to indicate that or include that. Kung hindi naman, put NA sa lahat po ng boxes. Dito naman sa college, kung mabot ka ng college level, make sure to include the name of your school, yung course mo, kailan ka nag-aral sa school na yan. Kung hindi ka graduate, ilagay mo kung anong year ka lang natapos. Kung graduate ka, ilagay mo kung anong year ka graduate. At kung meron kang scholarship na natanggap for graduate studies, ganun din po kung meron kang ganitong nakuha. So, continue on separate sheet if necessary. So, let's say, kailangan mo ng extra sheet, then you can continue on a separate sheet. And make sure to do not forget your wet signature or digital certificate. When you say wet signature, ito po yung signature gamit yung physical na ballpen po. E-signature naman kapag electronic signature siya. And digital certificate, I'm not quite sure about digital certificate, but yeah, I'm familiar with wet signature and e-signature. And also, ilalagay natin yung date kung kailan natin siya ipapasa sa ating a-applyang government institution. Right, nasa part 4 na tayo, which is yung civil service eligibility. I feel like may mga nadagdag ding details dito dahil nilagay din nila yung CES, CSEE, Career Service, RA 1080, Board or Bar, under Special Laws, Category 2 or 4, eligibility and eligibilities for uniform personnel. I feel like merong mga nadagdag na info dito. So, let's say CS passer ka ng professional level, make sure to include that. So, kung meron ka ring license and lahat ng nabanggit dyan, you can include that. You can put your rating only if applicable. So, kung wala naman, just put NA. Ilalagay mo rin yung date of examination mo. I hope you still remember when. And then, yung place of examination, saan ka nag-exam, make sure to include that as well. Wala namang sinabi yung complete address, so just put the place. So, license, if applicable, let's say may license number ka kasi nga, let's say, naging LPT ka. So, ilalagay mo yung license number mo and then yung validity or expiry niya or until when siya available. So, kung sobra-sobra yung kailangan mong papel or sheet, then you can continue on a separate sheet. Dito naman po tayo sa work experience sa part 5. Sabi dito, include private employment. Start from your recent work. Description of duties should be indicated in that attached work experience sheet. Ibig sabihin, kung nag-work ka rin po sa private companies before, you can include that. And mag-start ka sa paglilista ng most recent. Ibig sabihin, yung pinakahuli mong trabaho bago ka mag-apply, yun po yung ilalagay natin. Hindi yung unang-una mong trabaho, okay? So, description of duties, ilalagay mo siya sa work experience sheet. Kailangan pa rin talaga natin accomplish ng work experience sheet. Nada-download po iyan siya. I-link ko lang din or i-share ko na lang din sa description box at sa comment section kung paano mo ito at saan mo siya mada-download. So, dito na tayo sa exclusive dates. Again, yung format niya is date, month, and year. So, from what date, month, and year ka nagumpisa to what year. So, let's say, nag-work ka sa company na yon from 2022 to 2025. So, make sure to indicate the entire date. So, kung hindi mo na maalala, make sure to go back na lang sa job offer mo kasi most likely nandun yung kung kailan ka ba nag-start and also nag-resign. And most of us, I think, ay naalala naman to. So, position title, ano ba yung title mo or position mo sa work na yon? Make sure to write in full. Sabi, do not abbreviate. So, kung may part doon sa title mo na kailangan i-abbreviate, make sure to spell it out. Ilalagay mo rin yung either department, agency, office, or company. Again, write in full, do not abbreviate. So, let's say, nag-work ka sa VXI, ilalagay mo dyan the entire name of the company. The status of appointment mo, ano ka ba? Regular ka ba? Contractual? And so, yeah, ilagay mo yan siya. Depende yan sa'yo. Kung government service naman, yes or why kung yes and kung no. Again, wag mong spell out yung buong yes at no na buo kasi nakalagay dyan y or n lang. So, make sure to follow the entire instruction. So, yan, sobrang dami ng space na provided pero kung sobra yan or kulang, then use a separate sheet. Sabi nga dito, use a separate sheet. And again, page 2 po ito siya ng 4. Congratulations, nasa page 2 ka na. Make sure to not forget to put your wet signature, e-signature, and also the date kung kailan mo ipapasa yung iyong application. Alright, so part 6 na tayo. Nakalagay dito, voluntary work or involvement in civic or non-government or people or voluntary organizations. Nako, malaking factor din ito kapag meron kayong mga ganitong sinalihan, either nung bata pa kayo, high school, college, or even nung nag-work na kayo. So, sulat nyo lang yung name and address of organization. Make sure to write it in full. Sila na mismo nagsasabi, wag i-abbreviate. Ganyan siya kahaba kasi baka marami kang sinalihang mga voluntary work. So, let's say for example, kahit nag-donate ka lang ng blood sa Philippine Red Cross, for example, hindi ko nilalang yung pag-donate ng blood, pero you can include that kahit sa government man siya or sa non-government na voluntary work, you can include that. Kahit nga sumali ka lang sa tree planting activities nyo, you can include that. So, ilalagay mo lang yung date, month, and year kung kailan yon, up to when, nakailang oras ka ba. So, kukumputin mo yan siya. And then, position or nature of work. Kami before, may mga ganito rin and that's what I included. Right, part 7 na tayo, learning and development, L&D, interventions or training programs attended. I'm pretty sure nung estudyante pa lang tayo, especially nung college, ay may mga ina-attendan tayong training. So, pwede nating ilagay yan dyan. Ilalagay natin yung title of Learning and Development Intervention or Training Programs. Make sure to write it in full as instructed. At kung marami kang trainings in attendance, you can include that. Ang dami naman. Ilalagay din natin yung inclusive dates of attendance. Again, yung format is date, month, and year. Usually, may certificate naman pinaprovide. So, if you no longer remember yung date, then you can reference back to the doon sa binibigay na certificate. You can also include the number of hours. Usually, kami pag nagdi-training is whole day siya, so 8 hours. And then, you can also include the type of learning and development, pang managerial ba yan, supervisory, technical, etc. Kami dati, usually technical. So, dito naman sa part ng conducted or sponsored by Right in Full. Kami dati, school namin yung nag-conduct ng mga trainings namin. So, yun din ang nilalagay ko doon, yung name ng school namin. Okay, so moving on sa 8th part, pang 8 na tayo. So, other information na to, ilalagay natin or ililista natin lahat ng special skills and hobbies na meron tayo. Any special skills that you have na you think is relevant dyan sa job na ina-applyan mo, make sure to list them down. Let's say, computer savvy ka, list that down. Let's say you're good in painting, drawing, dancing, singing, you can include that. Kung magaling ka mag-program and all that, you can include that. Of course, lahat naman tayo may skills and hobbies, so make sure to put that in. Non-academic distinctions or recognition. Let's say meron kang natanggap na award, make sure to include that kasi tinitingnan din nila yan. Kung wala ka naman natanggap na award, of course, you can include NA dyan. I mean, you can put NA dyan, hindi include. And then, dito naman tayo sa 33, membership in association or organization right in full. Let's say naging member ka ng Supreme Student Government or na organization sa school nyo, you can include that as well. Or kahit sa work mo mismo, kung meron kayong mga organization doon, you can include that in. So, continue on a separate sheet if necessary. And again, nasa 3rd page na tayo. Ilagay natin ang ating wet signature or e-signature and also yung date kung kailan natin ipapasa yung ating application. Okay, so nandito na tayo sa last part. Almost done na tayo. So, meron lang mga tanong dito na kailangan nating sagutin ng yes and no. And kung yes, magpo-provide lang tayo ng details. So, I'll read it to you. You can read it along with me. Are you related by consanguinity or affinity to the appointing or recommending authority or to chief of bureau or office to the person who has immediate supervision over you in the office, bureau, or department where you will be appointed within the 3rd degree of affinity, within the 4th degree for local government unit or career employee. Ako dito ay no lahat ng sinagot ko. So, naglagay lang ako ng NA dito sa yes kasi hindi naman yes yung sagot ko. Have you ever been fully or found guilty of any administrative offense? Yes kung meron, and make sure to give details. No naman kung wala. So ako no naman. Have you been criminally charged before any court? Nakasuhan ka na before? If yes, put that in. Kung no naman, put that in. Kung meron kang kaso, then date filed and also yung status ng case. Have you ever been convicted of any crime or violation of any law, decree, ordinance, or regulation by any court or tribunal? I hope your answer to this is no. Ako naman is no, wala naman. So, if yes, be truthful. Make sure to click the yes or check the yes and provide details. Okay, marami pong tanong dito. Sa number 37, ang sabi dito, have you ever been separated from the service in any of the following modes? Resignation, retirement, dropped from the roles, dismissal, termination, end of term, finished contract, or phased out, or abolition in the public or private sector? I answered yes here kasi nag-resign na rin ako before sa previous job ko. If this is your first job, then you can indicate no, give details kung yes ang sagot mo. And have you ever been a candidate in a national or local election held within the last year except barangay election? Tumakbo ka na ba sa pagkakandidato? Yes, check the box. If yes, provide details also. In my case, no, hindi ako tumakbo. Have you resigned from the government service during the 3-month period before the last election to promote or actively campaign for a national or local candidate? Nag-resign ka ba para maipromote kang kandidato? In my case, no. If ginawa mo to, then hit yes and then give details. Have you acquired the status of an immigrant or permanent resident of another country? Nag-migrate ka ba before? Hit yes and provide details. No naman kung hindi. Sabi dito, pursuant to Indigenous Peoples Act RA 8371, B Magna Carta for Disabled Person RA 7277 as amended and expanded Solo Parents Welfare Act RA 1160 11861, please answer the following. Are you a member of any indigenous group? Yes kung yes, no kung no, and specify kung yes. Alam ko malalaman natin to sa barangay kung part tayo ng indigenous group, no? Are you a person with disability? PWD ka ba? May card ka ba doon? Yes kung yes, specify your ID number. In my case, hindi naman ako PWD, so I hit no. Are you a solo parent? Sa mga single parents dyan, lalaki ka man or babae? If yes, hit yes and specify your ID number, and no naman kung hindi ka single parent. Okay, nandito na tayo sa pinakadulong part, which is yung under na tayo ng references. Person not related by consanguinity or affinity to applicant or appointee. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo kadugo, hindi mo kapamilya. You have to list down at least 3 people. Either yung barangay captain niya yan, yung manager mo sa work, supervisor, or baka naman pwede yung iyong katrabaho. Basta anyone na hindi related sa iyo by blood. So, ilagay mo lang yung full name niya, pangalan ng office niya, kung nag-opisina siya o nagtatrabaho sa office, residential address kung saan siya nakatira, let's say hindi siya nag-work currently, and then make sure to provide either the contact number ng lahat ng yan or yung email address nila. Either or lang naman, so hindi mo kailangang i-provide both. So, ito yung nagbago din, nababasahin ko sa inyo. Ito yung bagong update. I declare under oath that I have personally accomplished the personal data sheet with a true, correct, and complete statement pursuant to the provisions of pertinent laws, rules, and regulations of the Republic of the Philippines. I authorize the agency head or authorized representative to verify or validate the content stated herein. I agree that any misinterpretation made in the document and its attachments shall cause the filing of administrative or criminal cases against me. So again, we have to be truthful, otherwise baka mangyari sa atin yung mga criminal and those kinds of cases. So maglalagay lang tayo ng government issued ID natin, mapa-passport, SSS, GSIS, or PRC or driver's license man yan. You have to indicate the ID number and the date of issuance. So type ng government issued ID, license number, and also yung place of issuance. Make sure to not forget yung iyong wet signature or e-signature dito. Make sure to put the signature inside the box. Sa loob po ng may kulay pula na yan. Date accomplished kung kailan mo ipapasa or pinasa itong application form. Again, sa box na yan natin siya isusulat. And then, sa picture naman, you have to attach yung passport size unfiltered. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya edited or gawa ni AI, no? And then, dapat kinuha yung picture na yon in the last 6 months. Kapag nagpa-picture ka sa mga computer shop or kahit saan man, alam na nila yan kapag sinabi mong passport size. And then, maglalagay din tayo ng right thumb mark. Pwede mong gawin to sa kapag magpapanotary ka na. Pero hindi naman, I believe, required ang notary. Pero kung i-require sa'yo, then you can make sure to follow it. So, dito to sa notary, no? And then, sabi, subscribe and sworn to me before this, yung date, affiant his validly issued government ID as indicated above. So, lagay pa rin natin yung atin wet signature. Except for notary public daw, no? So, sabi niyo, CS Form 212 page 4 of 4. So, that's it po. I hope meron po tayong natutunan. Thank you so much for watching. Alright, so that's the end of the video. Sana po may natutunan kayo sa video natin today. Kung meron po kayong mga questions, feel free na isulat niyo po yan sa comment section below. Any thoughts about this topic is highly appreciated as well. Kung meron po kayong mga video suggestions, make sure to comment din po sa baba dahil gagawan po yan natin ng video soon. And also yung mga questions niyo po, I'll make sure to answer all of those, lalo na kung alam ko naman yung sagot. And syempre, I'll put the link of the website kung saan ka pwede mag-download nitong CS Form 212 Revised 2025. So make sure to check it out sa comment section as well as the description box below. So yes, I'll talk to you next time and best of luck sa iyong job application. Bye!